Good afternoon. This is for November 25th, 2019 Earth Science class. Today we learned how to subtract clock times. You may say, why do we need that for Earth Science? We need that for when we subtract the S minus P time for earthquake waves, or we find the difference in S minus P time or our earthquake waves. I'm going to be honest, most of the time the standard notation is 2 digits for hour followed by a colon, 2 digits for minute followed by a colon, 2 digits for seconds. So you're going to see some of these numbers may not have that leading zero. I might write it in, I might not. Just know I'd prefer for you to put the leading zero out there. So we're going to start with this problem here in the bottom left corner of page 11 in our worksheet packet. And I see I have my hours, minutes, seconds here. I'm just going to do light lines over my colons to help separate stuff for us. And I would like to say we should probably look at just our seconds first. And if we need to move on from there, we can. So what I'd like to first do is ask you, can you go back in time? And although science fiction tells us we can, let's be honest, none of us have gone back in time. So we can't have a negative time value here. But we can take 0 from 0 and still end up with 0 time. That's for seconds, and I'm going to say this little reminder tells us to put our colon here. Can I take 5 from 43 and still end up with a positive number? Absolutely. So 43 minus 5 is 38. My reminder is there to put my colon in. And I go to hours, and can I take 7 from 10 and still end up with a positive hour? I most certainly can. So 3 hours, 38 minutes, and 0 seconds. And that's an awful looking 3, but it'll work. So I've got my all 6 digits, 2 for my hours, 2 for my minutes, 2 for my seconds, and that should make everybody happy. I'm going to then take you to another example where we're going to have to borrow. And there's just a reminder, 60 seconds in a minute, 60 minutes in an hour. I'm going to put my little reminder lines in by my colons. I'm going to look at my seconds first, then my minutes, and then my hours. And since I can't take 20 from 0 and not end up with a negative number, I'm going to have to borrow from the minutes. So I'm going to change my 23 minutes into 22 minutes. And I'm just going to put a plus 60 here, 60 plus whatever seconds I had there in the top. That happens to be 60. 60 minus 20 gives me a positive 40, colon. I can take 5 from 22 and end up with a 17, colon. And there's 1 with a leading 0 up front. And that's how we borrow from the seconds or from the minutes to help our seconds. I'm going to show you another example, and that's the fourth one over on the top row. Once again, we have hours, minutes, seconds. I just put in my reminders there to help me out. Can I take 50 from 30 and have a positive number? No, it would be a negative 20. So I need to borrow from my minutes, and I have 2 minutes here. I'm going to change that to 1, and I'm going to add 60 to my seconds. 60 seconds plus 30 seconds is 90 seconds. Now I can take 50 from 90 and still have a positive number. Oh, now I go to my minutes, so I can't take 38 from 1 and end up with a positive number. I'd end up with a negative 37. So let's go to my hours, change that to 10. I'm going to add that leading 0 there. And now I'm going to add 60 minutes here. 60 minutes plus 1 minute is 61. I'm crossing that out. I do that just so I don't forget to add it to the minutes or whatever number is already there. 61 minus 38 gives us 23. And 6 minus 10 gives us 4 with our leading 0. And ladies and gentlemen, that's 3 examples on how to subtract clock time. Thank you very much.